Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is Renegade Girls, a queer tale of romance and rabble-rousing, written by Nora Neuse and illustrated by Julie Robine. Alright, so this is a really good graphic novel. I'll say it's based on history. It's not quite, everything's down to the details, but in the back it's got some really interesting stuff about who characters are based on in their real life, and say it's based on a true story, kind of, with some facts changed. All right, so the story is about this girl named Helene, and she lives in Chicago, or Helena. Sorry, Helena. She lives in Chicago and goes and spends the summer in New York with her well-to-do aunt and uncle. She is a lesbian, and her mother has basically sent her to New York in hopes of her landing a wealthy guy to take care of her and her mother. Her and her mother aren't quite at that same level as the aunt and uncle as far as status. Helena goes by Nell. She is also a reporter. She starts off as a society reporter and wants to become a stunt girl. Now, stunt girl is basically undercover reporter. This is a thing that was actually a big deal that was happening around this time, where this was 1888 New York City. I think one of the most famous ones was a reporter who went undercover at an insane asylum to show off the abuses that happened there. That's the one I think I'm like, I want to say the name, but I don't want to get the name incorrect. It's actually referenced in here. That's one of the more famous versions of that. But they went in undercover in, like, factories and in various situations and showed the abuses going on. So in this, they're called stunt girls. And she has an idea she wants to be a stunt girl. So she eventually comes across the abuses that's going on at factories in New York City. She winds up going undercover, doing a pen name, and fighting for these people in factories to the point that legislation needs to get put in place. It's not just the women there, but there's men, and even bigger is children. So when you hear about relaxing the working laws, as far as the labor laws when it comes to children, think about stories like this, that we had that back in the day, and children were working instead of going to school. They were not getting an education. They were not learning to read, and they were doing it at ages of like 7 and 8, like just inexcusable treatment of individuals. So that is basically the story. She goes undercover, she writes the story, and like all hell breaks loose. Not going to give things away as to where it goes, but it goes in a really solid direction. And really at the moral center of this is, when presented with a challenge, are you willing to do the right thing? And Nell is presented with something about her reporting that she has to choose and hurt some people that she knows to finish off the reporting and do the right thing. So is she willing to do that? It's really solid. Now, what's also really interesting is it starts off with a queer tale of romance. Yes, it's an LGBT romance story as well, but that to me is secondary. It really is the rabble-rousing first and foremost. It just so happens that Nell is a lesbian and falls in love with a woman, and clearly we meet other queer characters throughout the story. But to me, it's all secondary aspect to it. It really is about her going undercover and discovering these abuses. It's really kind of also cool after reading it is that there's a bunch of secondary information, of background information about some of the characters and who they're based off of, giving a lot of more history of them, giving history of the LGBT community around that late 1800s. So it's educational as well. I like the art. The art is pretty cool. There's a lot of, I would say, expression. I think Nell does a great job of wearing her thoughts on her. She can't hide her thoughts. She's got no poker face. So you really get a good sense of what she's thinking just by her expressions and her actions. As far as like the time period, I'm assuming it's pretty accurate. I've got no idea. Like, I don't know what the clothes were like. I really don't know what the streets were like. It feels like late 1800s, but I'm not an expert in these sort of things. So yeah, like it's really it's good. It's to me it's more of the undercover reporting than anything else. So if you kind of like that aspect and it just so happens to have a queer lead, go for it. I think it's a really 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 solid graphic novel. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I actually went in thinking it was a romance story first, and the Rabble-Rousing was their romance, but yeah, not so much. It's more of really kicking ass through the power of the pen and newspapers, which today's age, like this just feels like a graphic novel that's hits every key issue that we're fighting for and should be fighting with. So it's good. It just seems to come out at almost a perfect time. You can go get this. It's out in shops. We got a link beneath our video. Put in your zip code to tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some of the links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage by doing that. You help support our site. I want to thank LB Inc. for hooking us up with this review copy. And, of course, thank you all for watching. If you are into comics, if you're into graphic novels, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.